everyone. Today I wanted to take the opportunity to share my portfolio with you. I've had several of my readers ask, how do I present a portfolio? How do I put a portfolio together? What does that look like? What sort of things should I include? Are screenshots good? Are full printouts good? It's really, it's up to you, however you'd like to do it. But I just wanted to share with you mine and kind of how I put it together, so I hope you find it helpful. So as you can see, first of all, I have a very large portfolio. However, as you'll see inside, the size allowed me to do things with layouts that I'm really, really glad I got to do. So let's get at it. So I start with social media because, as you should all be well aware, I'm very interested in social media and using it personally and using it for business. So here I start with a screenshot of my blog and the blogger logo and just a little snippet. I have a little snippet, 1 to 2 sentences for each portfolio piece that kind of just gives a little bit of a blurb about the piece. So here's that first one. And then also with personal social media, I then go into my own Twitter account and I talk about, why I believe that Twitter is really effective, and really I focus on the fact that it's a really effective tool. It's not a one-all fix-all solution for all PR problems. However, it can be a really effective tool. So I talk about how I personally use Twitter, which is to connect with industry professionals internationally, other communications, professors, students. It really is amazing who you can connect with on Twitter. And so I talk about, how the purpose of why I use Twitter. I also then use this time to talk about how I really love writing and I really seek out those opportunities outside the classroom. So here is a freelance piece that I wrote for a local news organization called My Eugene. And again, I just did a screenshot. It was, when it comes to online media, that can be a really effective way to do that. Here is another freelance piece for the same publication. However, this time I've chosen to print out the full article because this one in particular received a lot of comments and was really popular. And so I chose to print this one out, and I've just cut off the margins so that they can both fit on here. So you don't have to include the full printout for all of them. You can just do a screenshot for both of them. You could do, like I did, a screenshot for one and then the full printout for the other. Then I use my passion for writing and my interest in social media to talk about how that landed me a social media internship with a nonprofit in Portland called the Mentoring Project. And just a word about that, your portfolio does not have to be in chronological order. It can be in a different sort of order. And so I like to start with social media because that's something that I get really, really excited about and so I'm passionate about. And so that sort of puts me at ease as I start to go through my portfolio, and I think that kind of should rub off in a portfolio review, my interest and my passion in that and how that kind of flows into other areas of my work. So I was responsible for the Twitter account here, so as you can see, I just did a quick screenshot, the organization's logo, a screenshot of the blog, and then a full printout of a blog that I wrote for them. Then I have here a screenshot of an article that I wrote for Relevant Magazine, and Relevant is a good opportunity in this video blog to talk about if you are writing for a very niche publication. This is exactly that. Relevant Magazine is a very popular magazine in the faith community. It has 4 million online viewers and 75,000 readers bi-monthly. So that's a pretty significant readership. However, if you're not a part of that niche, you wouldn't know that. So, unless you're writing for something like Time or the LA Times or something that really people know that it has high circulation, it's important to provide that. Then I go ahead and talk about my internship with Columbia Sportswear, and as you can see, I was able to just include a full media plan here that I wrote. And again, I just cut off the margins so that they could both fit. And also most, PR departments have a lot of high resolution images that they give to the media. I went ahead and asked for that at the end of my internship and was able to include a lot of those in my portfolio. Just, don't make it scrapbooky, please don't. But, for some visual interest, and I like to do that, so. Then over here, I have a newsletter that I worked on called Team Columbia that summer, which was an internal newsletter that was started sort of based off of the idea that, employees really needed to be kept up to date on the Tour de France because Columbia was sponsoring a team for the first time in summer of 2008. So we started this internal newsletter to help keep employees informed. Here's another picture that I got. That's a high-res picture. And then here are a couple other pieces, some website work I did, and a mat release. And I went ahead and included a picture of me and Gert because our PR department worked very, very closely with the executives and with Gert, and so I think that that's important to talk about also to that relationship. Now here I have my work with Allen Hall Public Relations, and again, here's a screenshot of the Twitter and a screenshot of the blog, or rather the website blog. And here's a blog that I wrote. And then I just selected a couple pieces, projects that I was particularly really interested in over the years. So this was a PSA that I worked on my freshman year. And these are pieces of a media kit that I worked on my freshman year. And again, you can see because of the size of the portfolio, it really provides this really nice, thick black border, which I just think is really nice on the eye, and it's just not busy, and it allows you to really focus on the piece. Now, this is the perfect demonstration of what you can do with a portfolio this size, and this is a full social media plan that had lots of research, lots of strategies, tactics, evaluation, and whatnot, and I was able to include the entire thing on just this double spread due to the size of the portfolio. Again, I just cut off the margins, and this is wonderful because this is a piece that I like to talk about how this organization had a problem. We provided this strategy and how it was implemented and the solution, and really making your portfolio results oriented is key. And so I can talk about this, and I don't even have to flip a single page, so I really, really like that. The question continually comes up, well, what if I had an internship where the majority of my job was event planning? Pictures, pictures, pictures. Include pictures of the event. So here was a marketing internship that I had. A large part of my internship was helping to plan this trade show and this event that we hosted for our dealers on site. And I got to go to the trade show and help work the event. And so here are just some pictures. And I just use this as a talking point for my internship, the kind of projects I worked on, what I learned, why it was important for me in my career, and why it was such a great experience. So, you don't always have to have written pieces that people have to read. You can have talking points, and just, like I said, a screenshot or a picture is great. Now, most people will say that if you have a good amount of professional experience, that you really shouldn't include anything from class. Now, however, if you don't have any professional experience or you have very limited professional experience, then you should absolutely include things from class, especially if you have a school that you go to, such as the University of Oregon School of Journalism, which just provides you with so much real-world experience in the classroom. So I have chosen to include one piece from my school time at the U of O, and that we have a class at the University of Oregon called Information Gathering, and it is commonly referred to as InfoHell. The task is to write a 100-page research paper on a public policy issue of your choice. And, as the nickname will tell you, most students don't enjoy the class. I actually left going, wow, I hope I can find a job where I get to do this every day. So that was, for me, a really important turning point in my education. And so I chose to include my annotation list here in my portfolio, and I use this opportunity to talk about, yes, while I may have an interest in social media, let us not forget research. Let us not, be too quick to think before we tweet, and really, really be aware that all these social media tools can be really effective, but let us not forget about research. So important thing to remember is, what is your differentiator? What is the thing that sets you apart from other applicants? And for me, it's the combination of my interest in social media, but yet my deep interest in public policy research. So whatever your differentiator is, be sure to highlight that and really, really make that clear. So that's the end of my portfolio, but I want to go ahead and show you that I have a space in between. Here's some blank pages, and then I have full printouts. So if any of my reviewers ever said, hey, can I see that full blog that you wrote about President Obama and his connection with the nonprofit that you worked with? I can say absolutely, and I can pull it out, and there's the full printout right there. So I can just pull that out. Here is also the full article that I wrote for Relevant Magazine. Here is the full media kit that I worked on, the full social media plan that we worked on for Birth to 3. So, and then again, the rest is just empty, and don't feel awkward about that. I usually just end it, back here, and I just say, you know, thanks so much for looking at my portfolio today. I really appreciate it. I would love to hear your feedback. So that kind of is a trigger for them. Okay, she's done now, and you don't have to feel awkward about someone going, oh, is there anything else back there? So remember to always be confident, be smile. Before you present a portfolio, my biggest tip would be to get little sticky notes and write down your key messages. You know, pretend that this is your product. You are doing PR for yourself. So write down some bullet points, some key messages that you want to hit with each piece, and practice. You know, have your roommate sit down with you, have your mom sit down with you, sit down with yourself alone in your room. So, and really practice. It will make all the difference. So thanks so much. Please give your feedback. If you have any tips of portfolio work that you've done and how you've put your portfolio together, I would love to hear that. So please use the comment section below. Take care.